What if the future wasn't filled with flying cars and advanced technology, but with mountains of garbage, unintelligible language, and a president who's a former wrestler and porn star? Welcome to the dystopian, yet hilariously prescient, world of Mike Judge's 2007 cult classic, Idiocracy. This film isn't just a comedy, it's a biting social satire, a cautionary tale that, with each passing year, feels less like fiction and more like a documentary. So, grab your Brondo, because we're about to dive headfirst into the future of humanity. Idiocracy kicks off with a brilliant, albeit uncomfortable, premise, a satirical look at dysgenics. The film posits that over centuries, intelligent, educated individuals tend to delay parenthood or have fewer children, while less intelligent individuals reproduce prolifically and at a younger age. The result? A gradual, yet catastrophic, decline in overall human intelligence. This opening montage, set to a hilariously bland narration, is both educational and terrifying, as it lays the groundwork for the absurd future we are about to witness. It's a stark, if exaggerated, commentary on societal trends and the potential consequences of unchecked demographic shifts. Enter our protagonists, Joe Bowers, played by Luke Wilson, an utterly average U.S. Army librarian, and Rita, played by Maya Rudolph, a prostitute. They are chosen for a top-secret government hibernation experiment because they are, by all metrics, perfectly average. The idea is to freeze them for a year and then wake them up. However, a scandal involving the officer overseeing the project and Rita's pimp, Upgrade, leads to the military base being shut down, and Joe and Rita are forgotten. Left in suspended animation for not just 1 year, but 500 years. This accidental oversight is the catalyst for their bizarre journey into the future. 5 centuries later, Joe awakens, not to a futuristic utopia, but to a dystopian nightmare. His hibernation chamber has been dislodged by a massive avalanche of garbage, and he finds himself in a world where human intelligence has plummeted to astonishing lows. The English language has devolved into a crude mix of slang, grunts, and profanity. Society is a chaotic mess, characterized by rampant consumerism, grotesque advertising, and a complete lack of critical thinking. People are literally surrounded by mountains of trash, and the infrastructure is crumbling. Joe, initially believing he's hallucinating, quickly realizes the terrifying truth. He's now the smartest man alive in a world of idiots. His attempts to communicate rationally are met with blank stares or aggressive stupidity. He's arrested for not having a barcode tattoo and for being unable to pay his bill at a fast food restaurant called Carl's Jr. His subsequent trial is a hilarious, yet scary, display of the future's legal system, where Frito Pendejo, a barely coherent lawyer, represents him. Joe is sentenced to prison, not for a crime, but for his perceived oddity and lack of a barcode. Meanwhile, Rita, also awakened, quickly resumes her old profession, adapting to the new, equally debased, societal norms. Joe, now officially registered as not sure due to a faulty identification machine, manages to escape from the correctional facility. He reunites with Rita, and together they seek out Frito Pendejo, a seemingly dim-witted but opportunistic individual who claims to know the location of a time machine. Frito, motivated by Joe's promise of a massive fortune through compound interest if he returns to the 21st century, agrees to guide them. Their quest leads them to a massive Costco wholesale store, which in this future, has become a sprawling city-like complex. However, Joe is promptly arrested when his barcode is scanned, revealing his lack of a proper identity. This leads to a surprising twist, due to his extraordinary performance on a simplified aptitude test, which he aces simply by answering correctly. Joe is deemed the smartest man in the world. He is immediately taken to the White House and appointed Secretary of the Interior by the President of the United States, Dwayne Elizondo Mountain Dew Herbert Camacho, a former wrestler and porn star. Camacho, a bombastic and utterly incompetent leader, tasks Joe with solving the nation's most pressing problems, including unfruitful crop yields, dust storms, and a stagnant economy, all within a week, or face imprisonment. This dramatic shift in Joe's fortunes highlights the absurd reality of this future, where basic intelligence is now a superpower. Joe, now thrust into a position of immense responsibility, quickly identifies the root cause of the nation's agricultural crisis. He discovers that the country's crops are being watered with Brondo, a popular sports drink. In this future, Brondo's parent company has become so powerful that it owns the Food and Drug Administration, the Department of Health and Human Services, and the Federal Communications Commission. The concentration of electrolytes in Brondo has destroyed the natural topsoil, leading to dust storms and crop failure. Joe's attempt to introduce the concept of using water for irrigation is met with incredulous circular reasoning from Camacho's cabinet. They are so entrenched in their Brondo-centric worldview that they cannot comprehend an alternative. This scene is a hilarious, yet frustrating, depiction of how entrenched stupidity can become. Despite the opposition, Joe manages to convince President Camacho to switch from Brondo to water for irrigation. This decision, while scientifically sound, has immediate and devastating economic consequences. Brondo stocks plummet, half the country's citizens become unemployed, and riots erupt as the crops don't immediately improve. It's a dramatic and fun twist, showing that even simple solutions can have complex, unforeseen repercussions in a world devoid of foresight. With the nation in chaos and no immediate improvement in crop yields, Joe is sentenced to public execution by the extreme court. The method of execution? A monster truck demolition derby against the undefeated rehabilitation officer, Beef Supreme. This is the film's most absurd and fun sequence, a perfect encapsulation of the future's lowbrow entertainment and complete disregard for human life. As Joe faces his imminent demise, Rita and Frito make a startling discovery: Joe's reintroduction of water to the soil has worked. The crops are beginning to grow. In a desperate attempt to save Joe, Rita pays a cameraman to broadcast the images of the sprouting crops on the stadium's jumbotron. The crowd, initially baying for blood, is stunned into silence. President Camacho, witnessing this miracle, grants Joe a presidential pardon, recognizing the success of his seemingly insane plan. This is a triumphant, albeit ridiculous, moment, where basic science prevails over mass stupidity, and Joe, the average man, becomes a hero. After his pardon, Joe discovers that the much sought-after time machine is just an amusement park ride, a relic of a smarter past. With no way to return to his own time, Joe accepts his new reality. He becomes the President of the United States, marries Rita, and together they have the 3 smartest kids in the world. Frito becomes the Vice President and, in a final, hilarious twist, has 32 incredibly dumb children. Idiocracy is a film that has only grown more relevant with time. Its satirical take on anti-intellectualism, consumerism, and the dumbing down of culture feels less like a joke and more like a prophecy. It's a film that makes you laugh, but also makes you think, and perhaps even a little scared. It's a reminder that intelligence is not a given, and that a society that devalues knowledge and critical thinking is a society on a path to self-destruction. If you enjoyed this trip to the future, please hit that like button, share this video with anyone who appreciates a good laugh and a sharp social commentary, and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the films that make us think. However, before you go, here is something to chew on. What if this satirical dystopian future is not very far into the future, but we may very well be living in it now? Thanks for watching.